Hey y'all, today I'm going to be replacing the charge pipe on my 2019 BMW G20 330i xDrive. These come with the B48 or B46 engine, depending on where you live. It's a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Now, there are a few different reasons why you might want to replace your OEM charge pipe. First reason being that the charge pipe from factory is made of plastic, and over time that plastic can get super weak and actually implode on itself and cause a ton of damage to your engine. The second reason is that if you are planning to push more boost like I am, it is essential that you replace the charge pipe so that when you are pushing more boost, you do not blow up your charge pipe earlier on and actually pretty much destroy your engine. There are a ton of different charge pipes out there on the market for this engine, but I have decided to go with Evolution Raceworks charge pipe. It comes with the lower and upper section along with the 2.5-inch seal and 2 T-clamps to ensure that holds boost. Also comes with a super cool manual, so if you ever need any extra information, all in here about the installation. Now first up, you're going to want to get that hood open. Then you're going to want to get that engine cover off. Then you're going to want to get yourself a ratchet set and a set of bits. You're going to want the T25 and T30 bit. To start this project off, you're going to come over here, locate this MAF sensor, and you're going to pop the clip out, just like that. Once this sensor is completely disconnected, you're going to move on to this other sensor up here, and using a T25 bit, you're going to remove its housing. Pop that screw out and simply just pull it right off. We are now complete with the upper portion of the OEM charge pipe. We will come back to the T30 bits that are holding it on in just a bit. For now, we are going to come over to our intake box, stock or modified, and we are actually going to remove its housing and the intake filter. Once you have taken your filter off, you're going to take off the housing for the filter, and all you have to do is just give it a good yank, and the grommets on the bottom should just pop right off. Now that our intake housing is removed and our intake pipe is out of the way, we're going to go down into the engine bay and locate this C-clip that is holding the lower charge pipe onto the turbo inlet. Once you have located your C-clip, you're simply going to slide a flathead screwdriver underneath it and pull up until it slips off of the lower charge pipe. Just like that, we have removed our C-clip. Make sure to hold on to this though, because you are going to use this on your new charge pipe. Once you've removed that C-clip, you can go ahead and just grab your OEM charge pipe and wiggle around on the bottom to release it. Now that your lower charge pipe section is disconnected, we're going to come back up here to the upper charge pipe section, and we're going to undo this T30, and a T30 that's hidden below on the bottom side. Once you've removed your 3 T30 bolts, again, there's going to be one here, and one on the bottom. Make sure to keep them somewhere safe alongside your T25 bolt from the MAF sensor and your C-clamp from the lower charge pipe. Now, your OEM charge pipe should be completely disconnected, so you should just be able to grab it, give it a nice yank, and it'll slide right on out, just like that. It is now time to begin assembling our new charge pipe. First, you're going to grab your upper charge pipe section and locate the bung for the MAF sensor. Then, you're going to come down to your OEM charge pipe, flip it over, and locate that same exact bung on the opposite side. Then, using a clamp, you are going to unscrew that OEM bung. Once unscrewed, insert it into your new charge pipe. Once it is screwed all the way in, make sure it is nice and tight, and grab the rest of your parts for your charge pipe. Then, use your seal to connect your two pieces. Once connected, grab your 2 T-clamps, undo them, and place them around your seal. Now, once you have installed your 2 T-clamps on your new charge pipe, you're going to locate this green O-ring on the inside of your lower portion of your OEM charge pipe. Then, you're going to remove this green O-ring. Once you have removed the green O-ring from your OEM charge pipe, you're going to keep the same orientation and place it into your new charge pipe. Once you have inserted it into your new charge pipe, make sure that the bead is set all the way around, and you're good to go. Now that our new charge pipe is complete, we are ready to insert it into the charge pipe housing. Once the new charge pipe is in place, ensure that the lower portion matches up with the turbo inlet and that the upper portion matches with your throttle body. insert 2 T30 bolts at the top, not completely, just enough to hold the top portion on, and then grab your C-clamp and attach it to the lower portion. Ensure that your C-clamp is completely on by jostling it around to ensure that it is nice and tight. Now move to the upper charge pipe portion and throttle body housing. Tighten the top 2 T30s completely to bring your upper charge pipe flush with the throttle body. Now grab your T25 bolt and your OEM sensor housing, then line up your OEM sensor housing with the bung and slide it in until it is flush with the hole. Then, using a ratchet, tighten the bolt completely. Now grab your MAF sensor and plug it in to its port. Now, grab an electric ratchet and tighten your T-clamp bolts. Now, grab your final T30 bolt and insert it onto the back of the throttle body. Now that our charge pipe is completely installed, ensure that all 3 T30 bolts on the throttle body are tight and secure. Your T25 bolt on your sensor is secure. Your MAF sensor is clipped in. Both T-clamps are secure. And your C-clip on the turbo inlet is nice and tight, and that your lower charge pipe portion lines up neatly with that inlet. Now we can begin reassembling the intake housing. Intake tube, filter housing. Now plug in your MAF sensor for your intake and replace your engine cover. Now your charge pipe is completely installed and you should have no more worries with your OEM one breaking. If you like the content, I might make more videos like this. I don't know, it did take a lot of time, but make sure to drop a like and subscribe